Since the palace refused to comment on the condition of the Princess of Wales, the royal biographer said on Talk TV that William and the press service of Kensington Palace do not give any information about Kate, because, in fact, there is nothing to please the public. We are not being told what kind of surgery it was. As far as I understand, it was very serious. I will not reveal what I was told, but she is seriously ill. There is no threat to her life. She will recover, but it is a long healing process, and that is why she disappeared from view, Bauer said. Thus, the biographer made it clear that he knew more than other journalists. It is not entirely clear how he managed to get into the circle of the chosen ones, but Bauer could have been used to make it clear to the public that the Welsh are now not up to any kind of statements, speeches, appeals, and so on. And this despite the words of the press service that the princess feels well. They said the same thing about Elizabeth and Prince Philip. This is a standard phrase that means absolutely nothing. The situation is so bad that they have no time to provide news, stated Tom Bauer. We now have a crisis of the monarchy. The king is ill, perhaps more seriously than we think. The Princess of Wales, the future of the monarchy, is also seriously ill. We have the ongoing problem of Harry and Meghan. Andrew's reappearance is disastrous. It's a very bad time for the monarchy and a bad time for Britain. It's not so much about managing the news, it's about literally managing the facts. The facts are that the royal family is currently suffering from ill health and, unfortunately, scandal. If Kate recovers and there is no threat to life, then it is not entirely clear why there is so much tragedy in Bauer's words, as if the monarchy would collapse with Charles's departure. Or maybe he really knows more than we know. The biographer reported that Kate's recovery would take much longer than expected, and regarding the king, he only noted that Charles takes his illness seriously. They say he is being treated, well done, and there is nothing more to say. I have heard that Kate's recovery will take months, not weeks, the writer said. Kate's recovery will take much longer than they originally thought, and I think the king is rightly taking treatment for his illness very seriously. As previously noted, serious work is currently underway behind the scenes to prepare the succession, and at the same time the British media are turning their backs on the heir, as he is turning to them. It's untimely, but this situation may be beneficial for someone. Judging by Bauer's forecasts, we won't see Kate either at Easter or perhaps even at the Trooping the Colour parade in honor of the monarch's birthday in June. And who even knows what will happen until then? In response to inquiries from royal journalists, Kensington Palace indignantly stated that it was not going to succumb to the pressure of toxic speculation from the media and deviate from the previously accepted plan to report only something extremely important about Kate. Friends of William spoke to royal columnist Tom Sykes and said that the more the press and social networks put pressure on the Prince of Wales, the more convinced he will be of the correct path, not sharing information about his family. The newspapers always tell the royal family how to run their press operations. This time, oh surprise, surprise! They failed. They seemed to think it would be a good idea for the royal family to give them more information about Kate. But no, William doesn't like to do something just because a source says he should do it, said one of the heir's friends. The second friend said that the prince would not answer questions from journalists and ordinary British people, because what happens to their future queen is her private matter. Anyone expecting the palace to suddenly start giving long updates about Kate will be disappointed. The main purpose of her isolation is to protect her privacy. I'm sure the press hates it because it works. There is a very, very small circle of people who know exactly what's going on, the source said. Yeah, one brother has already taken on the press, and now it looks like William is going down the same path. The heir believes that everyone who talks about the right to know, at least in general terms, about Kate's well-being, in fact has no right, and even if Kate does not appear at all, this should not concern anyone, because this is their private family matter. This approach seriously angered the media, and not just the British ones. Royal expert from Australia Daniela Elser claims that William behaves this way because he does not care what they say about him or what the consequences will be. This is how the journalist explained the Prince of Wales's refusal to attend the service in honor of King Constantine, saying that the heir considers himself untouchable. The same words were expressed by royal historian and expert Tessa Dunlop, who believes that William does not take into account public opinion only because with the departure of the Sussexes from the royal family, the crown couple left no competitors, and this gave the future king a free hand. The predominantly right-wing press has put William and Kate on this incredible, untouchable pedestal. In fact, to some extent he feels he can do what he wants. "We've made him untouchable," says Tessa Dunlop. In turn, Daniela Elser began to list how many times a year the Welsh take vacations with their children, although they work less than the oldest, and, moreover, secondary, members of the royal family. When an almost 80-year-old duke, 31st in line to the throne, manages to host more official events than the future king, it doesn't look particularly good. But William seems to feel free to do whatever he wants, and play by your own rules, writes Daniela Elser. Well, now the press will remind William of absolutely everything that they previously turned a blind eye to, because they could always take it out on the Sussexes. Now it seems the couples are having the same problems with the British press. But all Kensington Palace needed was to issue an announcement on behalf of Kate thanking her for her wishes, and some general phrases about a successful recovery. At least something so that, against the backdrop of the ill, but active and benevolent king and his Camilla, the Welsh would not look so closed and arrogant, as the press calls them. Let's see where this confrontation leads. Ask the internet about the current whereabouts of the Princess of Wales and you'll receive a pop culture education. Not one Banksy since Kate Middleton disappeared. Coincidence, reads one conspiratorial tweet. It's okay, I figured out where Kate Middleton is, another commented, alongside a screenshot that said it usually takes 3 to 4 months to grow bangs. Other theories include, a game of hide and seek has gotten out of control, a mission to the moon, and that she is dating Pete Davidson. As many already know, Catherine has been absent from public life since December due to health issues. In January, Kensington Palace announced that she had undergone abdominal surgery. She hopes the public will understand her desire to maintain as much normalcy as possible for her children, and her desire for her personal health information to remain confidential, the statement released at the time said. Kensington Palace will therefore only provide updates on Her Royal Highness's progress when there is important new information to share. Since then, the only news to emerge at the end of January was that Kate had been released from the hospital. The Princess of Wales has returned home to Windsor to continue her recovery from surgery. She is making good progress, Kensington Palace said in a statement.